Hello everyone, this is Kyle with Say. This is the condensed version of the Video Editor Academy. We're going to run through some examples, and I want to talk quickly about these are just reminders. These are reminders if you get caught up in your editing process. We appreciate working with you, but this is what we're looking for. Your edits should be easy for the viewer. They should have a less is more approach, something that is guided by the music, has relevant B-roll, has good text placement. That is what we're looking for. This is the recipe for success, we promise. And then lastly, it should make a connection. We want your edits to be as if you are someone that truly cares about the viewer. Why though? Because you are making it easy on them, you're not wasting their time, and they are getting something out of the beautiful edit that you are creating. All right? Let's quickly look at some examples. You will have access to this, so please take a look at these. There's some links attached as well. The main animation is that text is coming in one word at a time or word by word. So this is common to what we like to see is text stacking. We can offset those text stacking. We can have text stacking with an emphasis font. You have access to all of those. Text behind the talent, a little bit of rotoscoping or cutting out a subject and putting the text behind them. And then text working with the environment. There are many examples of this, but you will have access to all of those resources. So we'll show those as well. The do's and don'ts. Do not use retro TVs. Do not use this camera effect. We've used it in the past, but we're not using it going forward. And none of the Ali Abdaal, paper mache, cutout, none of that stuff. We want it to look pretty clean. Lastly, clip curation. Please have and use one track. And then pay attention to the waveforms because that will give you some clues on when to use B-roll and when to use stills. So looking for those peaks and valleys, the beat drops, take note of those. Those will help you guide your edit. As far as B-roll, we just want to match what is on screen with the dialogue. Be very intentional. Your editors, that's what your design is supposed to do. Be very intentional with your edit. Now, we do ask you to please change up those B-roll shots. You know, you might have some close-ups, some busts, some full shots, some low and high angles, some wide shots. Switch those up. We don't want to waste the viewer's time, right? We want it to have some variety. And then lastly, we're looking for some emotion, a little bit of space, some scenery, and then, of course, some action. We're trying to match the B-roll with the dialogue. So let's look at some examples.
When you really want something, you're going to find a way, ultimately. And it might not be today or next year or 5 years or 10 years, but this thing takes priority and precedent over all other things.
Are you okay with getting comfortable, chilling, mailing it in, waiting around on inspiration? And when I thought about that feeling, I was like, nah, I'm not cool. Do not fucking stop. Whatever you do, don't quit, don't stop, don't give up. That'll be the worst mistake you ever fucking make. You'll regret that shit forever. It's not no overnight. This is a step-by-step process. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. That's how this shit works.
Very, very intentional from start to finish. You see all the text stacking as far as the practical stuff. A lot of text stacking. Some of it is offset. And then for emphasis, you know, caps, that's fine. But just pick those phrases where you know emphasis is happening. So in this case, they were capped and they're also using that blending mode that we like. Time priority, awesome. And now here, the soundtrack is used, talking about those peaks and valleys that you'll see on your waveform, they're used to accentuate the stills coming in. So let's go ahead and hear it. You'll hear the dings. Dun, 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 dun.
Are you okay?
They're making all of those changes with what is happening on the soundtrack. And then I think it was just a smooth transition on that last is just a still, and then it transitions into the actual thing. So that's more high-level stuff, but just showing how the soundtrack was incorporated into the B-roll. The next, a lot of this is just we're getting different shots, and then the text is working with the environment. So again, we have Cole on screen. Well, it would look better if we had the text just coming that's right next to him, right? So let's do that. Oh, we have some of his set, his microphone in a sock, right? So we can have the text dance around that. Same thing for emphasis. These are all capped, and guess what's happening? We have that blending mode again. Everything is intentional. So with all of what is being on screen, we're using the space for the text layers. We're having a little bit of branding. We're still working within, oh, these are at an angle. Let's put the text at an angle. Same thing for the next shot. Now, one of the most intentional shots here is what is being said in the dialogue and matching it almost directly to what is happening on screen. So he's saying it's a step-by-step process. How cool is it to have the talent on actual staircases, on steps, and doing step-by-step process? Very intentional shot here. Okay, so that's part of the message. Let's go to the next one. This is probably our biggest inspiration is by Maximize. Again, we're looking at intentional. We're matching the dialogue with the B-roll. Here we go.
If the winners catch their wind, use their slipstream, and let it propel you forwards. Don't be afraid to take the occasional rest to avoid burning out. Drive fast enough that you keep momentum, but not too fast that you lose control and crash. In order to win, you need to take risks. And when you do win, because you will, be sure to fucking celebrate.
Not bad, right? Everything is intentional. Everything. So when we're looking at the B-roll, we're talking about sticking with the winners. In this case, the context is this Ford movie. So we're seeing Christian Bale as a race car driver.
Catch their win.
Catching their win. All right, that's literally what is happening on screen now.
Use their slipstream.
Use their slipstream. We have competitors. Okay, they're clearly in a race.
And let it propel you forward.
Let it propel you forward. So let's go ahead and show who the talent is, who the subject is. In this case, it's the actor, right?
Don't be afraid to take the occasional rest.
And so we're at a pit stop now. And then this next B-roll is perfect because what's happening to avoid burnout. And there's a literal fire happening. So intentional and matching the dialogue with the B-roll.
Drive fast enough that you keep momentum, but not too fast that you
lose control. And guess what? We're as that's being said, we're going to show someone losing control and crashing.
In order
so intentional
to win, you need to
take risks. So guess what? He kicked it into gear. He's speeding up. And how's another way that we can show that happening, right? He's going to show the RPMs ramping up to the max on 2 of these shots, right? We're taking that risk because this is risky. It shouldn't be here.
And when you do win, because
still doing
you will, be sure to fucking celebrate.
Of course. So let's show him celebrating. And he's literally walking into the set to celebrate. So intentional, and we're matching that dialogue with those different shots. Last example here that I just want to show this off because this is easily our best example so far here at Say. This is by one of our editors. So we have stock footage that is available to you. Let's go ahead and jump in.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up.
All right, so with this one, so intentional. So please use the stock footage that we have. We have text stacking coming in. Looks great. We have branding. And then the context of this is that we're talking about the rockets, right? What's on screen is talking about the third failure. So we're showing one of the failures. And then in the dialogue, it's saying in a row. So of course, let's show another one of those failures. Right? And then we can have that sound come in of like, man, so not once, not twice, but 3 times. Let's have the rocket.
Did you think I need to pack this?
Did you think I need to pack this in? So look how deliberate this is. He's working. He's clearly working. They're thinking, they're working on something. They're looking downward, right? Never. And in this next scene, we're looking up as if there's like hope. We were working on it just before, and now we're going down from up, right? And then what would be to show this? Hey, we're never going to give up. Let's show that rocket rising. And then bring it back to what is being said on the dialogue.
Why not?
Have him contemplating this question, right? So intentional.
I don't ever give up.
I don't ever give up. Have the man saying it, have the emphasis, the blending mode on the text layers. And then, again, we're bringing in those peaks and valleys to show off the rest of this clip because there's no more dialogue. There's only dialogue for 11 seconds. And guess what? All of these cuts are being done by beats or valleys on the waveform with the soundtrack. And then I think interweaving in the rocket launching is just the cherry on top. It's more high level, but it really gives the clip that extra oomph. And then let's end it with the soundtrack itself is Icon. So they won the hero's journey. They did great. So of course, let's show him happy, having a great time. So that is the quick version. If you want to get deeper into what I have prepared for you, please do. I'll give you some more context of what we're looking for at Say, but this is a good video to remind you of what we're looking for. Thanks.